Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Kalasu. I'm on my 38th day of our Calming the Mind series. I hope you are all doing well. And I had a very busy day, a lot of activity at home, and a lot of fun activities, and also some video making. Uh, so I'm very pumped up because I'm nearing the end of this series. As I promised you all that I will do a stretch of 40 days. And if you look at some of the talks, people really came in and asked pretty deep questions than what I talked about, just a simple exercise of trying to keep our mind calm. So you can go back and refer to those questions and you can see them. That will be pretty um, easy for you to follow them in the replays. But basically, calming the mind is taken as a separate requirement for us for our lives. I think few people do. Some people either they are too serious about meditation and they do adapt very good measures and they practice them very sincerely. Those people are really admirable, and I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about regular people who don't have any concept about having the mind calm, quiet, and quietude and silence as a quality. I don't think many people pay attention to that. That's why, as the information is going on, and we have so much of information coming on into our brains from morning till next morning. So I thought I should bring notice to the important um, routine of trying to stop from whatever we are running and we are doing. Just take a few minutes break and then use the breathing, leverage the breathing to calm your mind. Many people don't understand that the thought and breath are interconnected. If you are having a very rapid, very chattering mind, then you need to control them by taking deep, slow breaths. That's the inverse relationship. The slower the breath is, the mind activity will go down. And the rapid the breath is, actually, your mind is going pretty fast, right? It's as simple as that. It's a physiological thing. But a lot of people get caught up in this anxiety where they give room to so many thoughts, and the thoughts form their own network, and they will be running on their own, and we act as though we don't have any control over them, or we don't notice them. We are a victim of that rapid thought that is going on. Okay, so that's the issue, and that's actually modern day issue because we always go out with our intellect and our senses and to do things, to have external experiences, but we don't look at inside ourselves and see how we are dealing with everything, right? So that's why have a practice like this for a few minutes of quietness, few minutes of slowing the thoughts, and few minutes of really keeping quiet within and still, actually. Uh, if you are a meditation practitioner or mindfulness practitioner, whatever you call it, I would prefer calling awareness practitioner than mindfulness. Then you will be attentive to whatever you are doing, and you will be in the moment, in the present, and you will have more quality work, more quality relationships, and overall, much more energy saved because you are not spending your energy on extraneous thoughts from the activities that you are doing, right? So don't live in the head, but be in the present. Don't let the mind run and calm it down. So how do you do it? Because it is the when the night is joining the day is joining the night. That's when you want to work with your mind like this. Okay. During the day, you may be working with the mind with going around, but even then also, if you are attentive to whatever you do, you will help yourself a lot. Even if you don't do any of that during the daytime, just do at least 2 times a day. First thing when you get up, and the last thing before you go to sleep. Okay, so all you do is sit down, be comfortable, keep your spine straight, and take deep breaths, and see that thoughts are all kind of controlled and you have some silence in your mind, and then go to sleep. Or when you first wake up, first do this, achieve that present sense, and achieve that being in the moment, and then stationed in that, go about your day. And that will be very good advice, provided you really attempt to do it and do it on a regular basis. Then you will be much more service to your brain, and then longevity of your health, and so many things are involved in this. So this is something, I am not prescribing any medications, I'm not saying you have to do any religious stuff. All I'm saying is, just when you get up, be aware of your situation, be aware of what is going on with you and with everything around you, and then take deep breaths, and then establish yourself in that presence. And carry that presence through the day like a perfume. And at the end of the day, again, sit down and calm your mind. So that's all I'm saying. Okay. And beyond that, if you want much more into meditation, much more into specific problems people have, you can always consult me on that. And privately, I can talk to anybody who has interest or who has such kind of doubts or problems. You can always reach me, and my contact information is in my bios, so you can easily reach me. Okay. But why I put 40 days is, I knew if I just say one day and then say this is you do, some people may say, oh yeah, that's a nice thing he said, or that's something I don't need, or something like that, and then they will walk away. By doing 40 days, I want to show you the importance I attach about being silent in the mind. Okay. But actually, from calmness, first you develop some quietude, at least at the times that you are practicing the breathing, right? And then that quietude leads to really regenerative silence. And when you really allow yourself to silence, a lot of people don't, but if you allow yourself to be in silence, then it has innumerable benefits of going deep within you and finding out a lot more happiness that you never visualize with external things, or you know you never understood that, right? So that's all deeper matters. That is all for people who are really interested in deep meditation, deeper states of consciousness, and so many things are there. I'm not talking about any of that. What I'm talking about is regular day-to-day exposure to so much of information, so many devices, so many distractions. Protect yourself from them by deliberately practicing to be calm in the morning, in the night, and during the day if you can. So at least just after you get up, don't rush into things. Sit on the side of the bed and take deep breaths. Calm yourself if you have any thoughts coming up, and then establish yourself in the present moment, and then go about your work. And preferably don't switch on the devices for at least half an hour to 1 hour after you get up. Okay. I do 1 hour. So, and also there is a digital toxicity I teach, where how do you manage your emails, how do you manage your contacts, how do you manage your notifications, how do you manage your note taking, and also keeping a lot of stuff in your head. All that is not needed with all the technology that we have now. Okay. You can always keep yourself much more clear. Don't remember telephone numbers, let them be available to you somewhere. Don't remember all the data that you don't need to remember in the mind, but you can have it as a reference. So many ways you can do that. Such way your cognition functions very well, but is not taxed. and lots of time we tax our cognition by keeping a lot of things within our mind, right? So there is a way to detox that data. you know this is what I call detoxifying the data world. And if you don't do that, then in the long run you will be neurotic. You will be constantly bothered by thoughts, and both past and future, and you will not be able to pay attention to things that you need. Most important things for you, you need to pay complete attention, right? You are not doing that. Okay. So remember that. So this is all pretty important mind sciences, important inner world. Okay. So these are all practiced by ancients very well, and then they went into these things much more in depth, and then their insights I respect very much, because that is like a thousands of years of work, right? But ignoring that, you are not doing anybody any favor, but you are not looking at the immense good it can do for our regular life, our health, our focus, our relationships. All those things are involved. So don't fall for these distractions, notifications, likes and comments, and so much of global gossip and so many things. Actually, technology is moving more towards automating these cognitive functions and elevating the cognitive functions and relieving a lot of burdens on the cognition, because it can be stored by the chat GPT, and then it can review it and then give it to you. Okay, you can go into more important things with your mind. Okay, I use artificial intelligence quite much now. I'm very excited and fascinated about what I can do with all that, and I'm doing them. So, but that's the tool. I'm in control of that tool. So I want to put in the prompts that are important to me. I think a lot about whatever prompt I do, and according to what I want, the Chat GPT gives me a lot of information. It thereby saves a lot of time for me. It's like a referral source. It's going to investigate what was written on this particular topic in the last thousands of years, probably, and brings that to us in a very, very nice English, very well organized. I love it that way. And then I don't have to burden myself with these mundane things, and it has become a huge AI assistant for me. So that way I'll come, and then it has left me more time for my spiritual introspection, inward journey, and meditation, all those things. So I'm delighted to have the artificial intelligence that is evolving. But I also have some concerns of what it is going to do to the humanity in case somebody uses it for the wrong purposes. That concern is there. But I don't want to be pessimistic about it, but I want people to be aware of the dangers and do practical things. Like, what we do with our password protection of our computer, because we do it, we don't stop using the computer. We create a password and go. Like that, we may have to have some safety measures to use this new technology, artificial intelligence. So that's something different topic, but related to our mind. So basically, we're going to use a second brain outside of us to do all these data related things, right? And then what are you going to do with your mind? Go within, inward, look at, not being obsessive, not being self-centered or self-conscious, none of that. It's like knowing what kind of thoughts come to you, what kind of feelings come to you, how do you handle them, what the effects of these things on your mind. If you understand all of that, then you can really identify the negativity within you or around you, or negativity imposed on you by other people, and then you will find the path of turning the negativity into positivity. And that is very good for you. If you can keep your mind in a positive frame of mind and only live with positive, that's very good for you. So we teach what's called consciously thinking. Okay, and if you can understand that, then you can be in charge of your thoughts, and they won't bother you. Just like even if they arise, you can watch them. Anyway, that's a different matter. That's also bigger, deeper. So use the technology for the external things, but then find the time. That's what I'm doing. Or you find a lot of time released. Otherwise, you were doing a lot of other things before, right? So you can do that, and then you can spend your time on yourself, finding about what is that really you. Not the personality, not the ego, but what you are, right? And after that, you can really go in and find out, and then that is really wonderful too if you can do that. Okay, so remember, the exercise I'm talking about is called present moment breathing break, PMBB. This is done at a place in your home where it is all uh, you really have the in the one particular place every day, same time. Try to go there and sit there with both your feet on the floor and your spine straight, and then take deep breaths with mouth closed through the nose. Take the deep breaths, like eight of them or five of them, whatever is convenient for you. And then as you breathe in, you make sure your abdominal wall coming up, and as you breathe out, your abdominal wall going towards the spine. That is the deep breath where you allow your diaphragms to go down, and much more air is exchanged, right? So once you do that in the morning, then you go about your work and all that, and use that present moment breathing break, like a 1 minute every hour while you are working, if you can do that, or at least a few times in the middle, right? And when you come home, before you go to bed, again do the same thing, and then end up in the presence, be in the moment, and then go to sleep, and see how much your energies are balanced, how clear you think, how focusedly you think, how you enjoy the energy of not spending so many thoughts. Each thought takes so much of energy. That's why you don't want to think too much than what is on your hand. Suppose you are doing a job, you need to think about it. That's fine. But if you are doing a job and you're thinking about something else, either it has happened in the past or in the future is going to happen, you can plan for it, you can remember the good things in the past and all that, but don't go and live there. Don't live in your head. Otherwise, live in the moment here, your life, and suppose you are walking, just enjoy the walk, appreciate the nature, look at the animals and people around you, enjoy them, and then you come home and you're doing some stuff, just focus on that stuff. Suppose you are having a relationship with your loved ones, and then focus on that. That kind of living in the moment is extraordinary, um, uh, energizing for you. Okay, try that. Okay, so today is the 38th day, 2 more days, so if anybody has questions, they can send them to me. The people who talk to me on several rooms, they ask us questions and I answer them. But you can also reach me outside the rooms privately. My email, my DMs on LinkedIn, Instagram, Clubhouse, in the Wisdom app. If you put in a question or comment, I will try to respond to you. Then I have the email is also in my bio on the Clubhouse. So I have a WhatsApp number too. People send the message there also. So many ways I made myself available, and I will answer them only once a day. So if you want something really urgent, they can always go and book a consultation with me on my website, bapal.net/register. And thereby I can talk to you personally about your particular problem. Some people do that. A lot of India people do that. But Americans send me direct messages and I respond to them. All in all, I kind of enjoy my quietude, my aloneness, my real nurturing meditative spells where I'm aware. Actually, that's what I teach: meditative awareness all the time. We can be like that, When we are working, we are completely focused with it. When we are away from work, we are away from work and completely focused on whatever we are engaged in, fun or creative activities or relationship activities, network, or all those things. We focus on that, right? That way they will be meaningful for us. So I hope you all got something out of this exercise I was telling for the last 38 days. I hope you take up as an activity that is important for our brain and appreciate the dangers of this information overload and what are the things you can do. And I do see as a physician, the other side of it: anxiety, depression, lack of focus, not able to sleep, headache, overwhelm, brain fog. So many things are happening and that are real for people. When they really happen, they kind of cannot really keep a job sometimes, keep a relationship sometimes. This is happening in the IT world. A lot of divorces are happening because they don't have a 8 to 5 routine. They have all through the day, right? All through the night. And then that kind of always work and they're not able to know how to handle it is kind of causing problems for them too. So this kind of inner resilience by doing this deep breathing and also clearing of your mind, people are able to handle problems, much more complex problems in their work and family with ease because they are quiet in their mind. So many ways you can appreciate yourself, what is going on within you. Okay. So I think that's all for today. I don't want to go deeper into any subject unless somebody is interested and ask me a question about it. But this calming the mind twice a day is something very simple. That's where I want to keep things very simple. But if somebody is interested in something deeper about this meditation, about the problems of this chattering mind on our mind, our information overload and burnout coming from that. Several doctors have that problem, right? They have this information overload and they are on the edge of burning out because systems are not good and the whole thing has changed the atmosphere around healthcare field, right? And they are supposed to document quite a bit on the EMR, and that is producing major burnout problems for people. So to the point we are worried that this is going to create a national emergency in terms of shortage of physicians. Already we have shortage of nurses to a large extent and also to some extent physician also. And it's going to compound if this situation continues because people are getting burnt out there. So I do teach a coach for the burnout, and one of them is this making your mind not chatter, making your mind to be present. So people do seek my advice, do seek my course and that coaching, which I'm happy to do. So these are all the issues serious when it affects their personal life and professional life. And they can go to other people too sometimes. Sometimes they come to me because I'm a fellow physician and I was able to talk to them and they were able to explain to me. I was able to understand their problem. So that's maybe the reason why they come to me. My thing, my burnout coaching is based on awareness, not on thought. So other people who are dealing with a burnout, they are not having any success because if the burnout is caused by the thought and its structure, how can you ask the thought to resolve it? It's like asking a thief to be a police and catch the thief. Okay, so anyway, so if you are all appreciate what I'm trying to do, and why I'm trying to do. That is a lot to me. And I hope you can communicate with me if you have any doubts. And otherwise, I'll be seeing you again tomorrow. If anybody on the Wisdom Web want to come up, this is the last chance. Otherwise, I will close the room down, and I will see you again tomorrow. 2 more days, and then this series is done. Then I will move on to other things like a spontaneous. I used to do so many different topics. I may do on that too. Uh, Thank you for joining me, and I'll be seeing you again tomorrow. Bye.